hands up here if you've mucked around with responsive design already. Yeah, kind of? Cool. Well, you guys know it all already, so forgive me here. But I love email, and I've come to realize that one of the main issues we seem to have when it comes to things like responsive design is fitting loads of stuff into a tiny screen. But the problem with email in particular is emails tend to be long. They're not designed to be navigated. Ugh, they're cumbersome. You know, you guys don't like HTML email, I'm sure. I love it. Thank you very much. But the thing is, it just won't die. It absolutely won't die. It's on the rise. Everyone loves it. It's perfect on mobile devices for things like notifications and daily deals. It's just so convenient. It's just great. And we've now hit the point where now 1 in 5 people, well, 1 in 5 opens that we've recorded is now on a mobile device, and 75% of those opens are actually on iOS devices, which means, wow, numbers, crazy, that more people are reading emails on their iPhone than they are, say, in Gmail or Hotmail. That's out of sight, isn't it? We're doing pretty good here. Yeah, that's all right. But, you know, despite the uptake, there are like total naysayers. Like Jeffrey Zeldman, what a hack, come on, people. He doesn't believe in it. He said, oh, standards are terrible. Look, that's something, you know, email clients are pretty crap when it comes to CSS support. But I say, don't listen to a guy that says this is the best ad in the entire world. Rubbish. For real? What a hack. Anyway. But the thing is, the iPhone has really changed everything. And I said, look, iPhone usage is totally on the rise right now. Everybody is checking their emails on the iPhone. And the thing is about that is iPhones have awesome CSS support. They use WebKit. Apple Mail has awesome CSS support. And that's actually quite pleasing because email has become like the crap redhead stepchild no more. You can now do things as a web designer that, well, you can now do things as an email designer that you would as a web designer, which is really, really cool. It's just a matter of targeting these iOS devices or mobile devices in general. And the same techniques can be used across the board, which is awesome. Especially media queries. Believe it or not, you can use media queries when designing email newsletters. I know, that's totally insane because most people are using plain text. And that's cool, I respect that too. But we can move on now. Anyway, these things, media queries basically target device capabilities, which is great. And this is what a media query, for instance, in an HTML email would look like. There's nothing particularly exotic about it. I'm just saying if the display is like skinnier than landscape mode on the iPhone, then blah. Throw in some CSS and make it happen, guys. Awesome. So there's a couple of things you can do with media queries to make emails optimal to, you know, display on a mobile device. You can hide content, get rid of screen clutter. You can adjust like the layout to make it nice and skinny. You can resize images that are way too big, and you can make text readable, and that's what it's all about, right? Like reading the message. So that's real cool. And then I'm going to show you in a sec an example of an email newsletter that hasn't had a media query applied. And you guys are probably, if you guys are reading like, who's reading email on their phones anyway? Yeah, a lot of you guys. You probably get newsletters like this, you can't read it. You've got to pinch and zoom, and you've got to carry on, and because the text is like all over the joint, you've got to like scroll around. We're just going to apply like a tiny media query here. It's like literally 4 lines of code. We're going to do stuff like get rid of screen clutter. So like social sharing links, you don't need them. Go. The table layout, yes, we're playing with email here. Make it skinnier. Images, let's resize them to make them fit nicely on the iPhone display. And let's just tell Apple Mail and all that to not resize our text because sometimes that breaks layouts and it's not so nice. And the end result is, bang, a much nicer email newsletter. You want to read this, don't you? It's like 1 column. You don't have to scroll around and pinch and zoom. The pictures are nice. This is actually a real email that Panic sent out through us. Thank you very much, which is way cool. You just have to scroll up. It's beautiful. When I see emails like this on my phone, I'm like, it's love. Anyway, sometimes though, you just have too much content, you know, like, what do you do? Like, people tend to just ask you to make crazy long emails, like crazy, crazy long. Sometimes the emails are too damn long. So we've got a little technique. We're just going to borrow it from, it's a technique that a lot of web apps use already. A lot of mobile sites use it already. And this little technique is called progressive disclosure. And believe it or not, you can apply it to email newsletters as well. It's amazing. See, Wikipedia does it right now. Wikipedia has tons of text. And they have lots of subheadings. So the best thing to do is like hide them behind little toggle buttons and shit like that, like headings and stuff. You hit the show button, it shows, hit the hide button, it hides, which is great. But look, you can do it with email newsletters as well. And this is like purely CSS. There's no crazy JavaScript involved or anything, which is pretty sexy. So all of a sudden, just as people are very selective about the way they use their time, when they're like using their mobile devices, they can be quite selective about the content they read as well, which is actually really cool. You can throw heaps of stuff in there and people just read what they want to. So this is kind of like my show-off moment. Me and a little-known designer called Jesse Dodds, we came up with this technique together. Who knows Jesse? I'm sure you all know Jesse. He's a nice guy. And basically, we're just using like little text links here and the state toggles when you click on them. And come on, let's just stuff the code. I mean, you guys are bored of code already. So here's a couple of guidelines when designing for HTML newsletters. Basically, keep it one column unless you're really, really hardcore and you want problems. Fingers are fat. My fingers are actually quite fat. So make sure your links just turn out big and space them out, guys, whatever you do. If you have 3 links clustered together, it's really hard to click on one. And keep it short. So in essence, if you're designing HTML email newsletters, you can't ignore mobile anymore. There's too many mobile devices. I have a mobile device. That's what counts. And effectively, what we're doing is we're taking old techniques and we're basically making them cool. We're making them good. We're like using them on new devices. Responsive layouts are in. You guys know all about it. Keep them short and sweet. And make sure, for Christ's sake, that your email newsletters look great in every single email client. Amen. Thank you very much, everyone.